V for Vendetta is a 10-issue, 36-chapter comic book written by Alan Moore and illustrated by David Lloyd. Released between 1982 and 1989 with a hiatus due to publishing complications with Warrior, the publisher who originally printed the work, V for Vendetta has been collected and re-released several times since then, but most recently as a part of DC's Compact Comics line. This is a new series I'm trying out called Quick Reviews, where I talk about stuff in a faster-paced, shorter format, since TikTok has rotted y'all's attention spans. But let's get right into this masterwork with vim and vigor. Welcome to the Blast Room. V for Vendetta is great. If you take nothing else from this video, hell, if you want to stop it right here, you should read V for Vendetta if you're at all interested in it. Unless you're a child, I guess. Sometimes I forget y'all can read. V for Vendetta stars V, but also, more significantly, Evie Hammond. Now, to acknowledge the elephant in the room, Evie is not really the same character in the book as in the 2005 film. Like, at all. Evie in the film, played by Natalie Portman, is a runner for the British television network which serves as a propaganda outlet for the fascist regime. In the comic, Evie is an attempted teenage prostitute who is immediately caught due to trying to sell herself to a member of England's secret police, known in the comic as the Finger. This is just one example of the changes the 2005 film made to adapt the story for a film structure, but which also did remove some of the teeth of the comic book. And that is the last time I'll be mentioning the film. I will use it for B-roll, but call me a rich guy on safari, because I'm putting this elephant down. V for Vendetta is a dense read. Sometimes the smaller print of the compact comic genuinely hurt my eyes as I squinted at tightly packed text boxes. But the words and world contained within those text boxes and bubbles was always worth that. Sometimes this was made even more difficult with characters who speak with phonetically written Scottish accents.
What are you fucking talking about?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about at all?
But once again, this was always worth it, as the character in question, Alistair Harper, a freelance gunrunner for citizens and mercenary for the fascist regime, is one of the most interesting characters in the book. V for Vendetta is all about these characters in the margins and gray areas of society. This video will remain pretty spoiler-free, but any character firmly in the black or white of this world will leave the black or white, or will be snuffed out. V for Vendetta is an exploration of a successful, functioning fascist society. They are essentially the Nazis having won the war. There is not a single minority to be seen in this version of Britain, relegated to hallucinations. There is no sexual freedom. While adultery may be abound in the ranks of the ruling party, the very concept of gay people is contained within a prison manifesto written on toilet paper. One of the most haunting scenes is of, in my opinion, maybe the most well-written character of the comic, visiting a former concentration camp. Former on the one hand because it's where V was created, ultimately attacked from within, and escaped. But also former because the job is done. The final solution was enacted. Eric Finch, private detective working for the investigative wing of the Northfire Fascist Party, also known as the Nose, visits Lark Hill Resettlement Camp, the very place where V was born, taking LSD to try and understand his target, V, further. Upon tripping in the former concentration camp, maybe one of the worst places to do that ever, Finch has some of my favorite lines of the book. Upon hallucinating the only black people to be seen in all of Britain, Finch laments, "Oh Jesus, I've missed you. I've missed your voices and your walk, your food and your clothes, my friends there at the carnival, the gay pride marches. Say you saw beyond my uniform. Please say you knew I cared." In V for Vendetta, like in the times and places that are reflected in it in our own world, these well wishes and less ill intents mean nothing. When you put on a fascist uniform, you are a fascist. V sees the antidote for fascism to be anarchism. Now, I can't tell you about the inner workings or beliefs of anarchists, but luckily, neither can they. V is a character almost as nondescript and strange as his, hers, their moniker. They may be a super genius with the ability to dodge bullets, or they may just be a kinda crazy person with access to the same supercomputer that the leader of the Northfire government also has, and is in love with. That's a weird part. V has her own love, Madame Justice, who she laments sided with the fascists in their rising tide, before swearing off the Madame, and blowing her up. Blowing things up is V's main way of operating and enacting change in Britain. Like his face sake Guy Fawkes attempted to, V uses explosives to destroy Parliament, Lady Justice, and the eyes and ears of the Northfire government. V is a really interesting character to me. There's so little to concretely go off of on the basis of backstory, and does one particular thing to Evie which truly tests if you can even like this person, but is still, for a lot of parts of the book, the only person fighting against Northfire. And, for me at least, that gives them a lot of leeway. The last thing I'd like to talk about is the art. It's kinda ugly, but it's also kinda perfect for this story. This is an ugly world, not just because it takes place in England, but because of the circumstances of the world. Explosions are bombastic and wonderful, but people have long, sagging faces. Some of the close-ups on Evie during a particular chapter are haunting. Lloyd also does a really great job portraying dreams and hallucinations. Not just with Finch tripping at Larkhill, but a scene where Evie is dreaming captures the confusing, floating nature of dreams so well. All that is to say, yeah, you should absolutely read V for Vendetta. You can get it for $10 in one of these compact comics if you want it physically. The quality is not the best. My front cover's already started to peel like a little bit. I don't even know if you can tell. But, you know, the point of a comic is not the cover of the book, it's the comic that's in it. So, I still think it's very much worth it. But thanks for joining me, y'all. I hope that you like this. I already have some more comics I want to review, so I'll see y'all next time.